awake, orange, black, and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in drippin' orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these fights. Wake up the feast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle, drippin' heat. Tigers strike the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin', who day? Time to put your hands up. Bingo stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati, jungle fitted. Who day in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle drippin'. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feastin' now. Fit the bounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in drippin' orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange upon 'em, bingo bought 'em. Never stop it till the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in drippin' orange and black and white. Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move on? Who day when we fight, live and die in these stripes.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals. Now, do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are killing it. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm at 1,685 subscribers. That is awesome. Again, if it wasn't for you guys, I would have no reason to do this. Now, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, why not? Please do so. Please go to the YouTube channel Sports with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription button. Hit the bell for the notification. And every time I go live, or I'll put a video up like I did earlier today, you'll be notified. And also exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you want to support what I'm doing or make sure your comment gets read, which I said I try to get the most of them I can. But if you want to help me out, give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. What's going on to everybody in the chat crew? Taylor, what's up? Stranger, what's up? Ken, who else is a Crip? My boy, he's always in there. That's about all we got right now. But anyway, Haas, you just showed up. What's up, Haas? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. What is here? Don't want to incur the weather of Clark, so I won't post or read from a traffic light. Yes, that's a very good idea, stranger. Yes, you don't want to do that. You don't want to make the same mistake I did of trying to jump on a podcast while you're driving, because that's probably not a good idea to begin with. And Clark Harris was very mad at me, but he got over it. So, Steve, what's up? We need the Bengals to draft show to increase. Oh, we need a Bengals, my bad, Bengals draft show to increase market shares. Hey, I'd be down for that. I mean, there is a group of girls who do a great show. It's Tigress Talk. You guys should check them out. They're all beautiful, and they know what they're talking about as far as football goes. I had one-on-one yesterday. Hube, Jess, the better half of Bengals captain, she was on yesterday. So make sure you guys go check out their show, Tigress Talk. They're on at least once a week, as much as they can, because they work a lot. So, It happens. All right. So I had a great interview earlier today with Paul Dehner Jr. from The Athletic, and I released a little bit of it about his thoughts on the offensive line. Now, the majority of our conversation was about Jessie Bates. And so that's what basically I'm release the whole interview here in a little bit here when I get done talking, and you guys can hear his thoughts and my thoughts on Jessie Bates and if he's going to hold out or not. Michael, how about we already signed some of our draft pick? I love it. Dax Hill got signed yesterday. Mr. Toledo got signed today. And that is awesome. I love that part. So we don't have to worry about days of the past or of our draft picks holding out. Those days are over since they had the negotiation a couple of years ago and basically got it slotted with your draft status of how much money you're going to make. So it makes it a lot easier to get paid and get in camp and get it going and don't have to worry about it. Now, once they hit free agency and all the stuff that Jessie Bates is going on, we'll see. It's a little different. It happens. It's negotiations. And like I said, I will never be upset at a player for trying to get as much money as he can. My opinion on the Jessie Bates thing is I think his agent is trying to get him as the biggest contract as far as safeties goes, because that's what this agent has done. He's been doing it. He's been getting everybody paid. Now, is Jessie Bates the best safety in the league? By the stats last year, no. By postseason last year, yeah. I mean, if we don't have Jessie Bates in the postseason last year, we do not make it to the playoffs. So I always go to the point where I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I see both sides. I see where the Bengals, all right, they don't historically pay that much money, or not that they're cheap. They'll pay a ton of money for safeties. They just don't. But then you have Jessie Bates, who's played really well and is trying to get as much money as he possibly can for his family and all that. I totally understand. But I don't really think Jessie Bates actually wants to leave the Bengals. I personally don't think he does. Now, like I said, I always say I never met the guy. I've met him. He doesn't know who I am, but I've said hi as he's walking to the practice or whatever, and he's very cordial and stuff. But just interviews that I've heard where he said he doesn't have to be the highest paid safety in the league. I've said that a million times on him before. I personally think it's more of the guaranteed money that he's trying to him and his agent. At least I think the guaranteed money part is the part that Jessie wants. I think the agent is trying to get the max amount of money plus guaranteed because of what he's done with Deshaun Watson. That was the last big contract he got. So that's where I think we're at, but we'll see. Let's see here, Crown. I'll get to a couple questions here before I get going. Crown, if he doesn't play, the Bengals should tag him again next year. For what? That's just being mean-hearted, and I don't see the Brown family doing that. And I personally, and you'll get to hear this in the interview with Paul Dehner, I don't think Jesse's going to sit out the whole season. I don't think he's going to be here for training camp. I don't think he's going to miss out on $12 million or $13 million, whatever the guaranteed money is for the salary or for the franchise tag this year. I don't think he's going to sit out the whole year because I think one guy's done it, Le'Veon Bell, and it didn't work out too good for him. So, and Jessie Bates is in the prime of his career. So he still wants to go out and prove it this next year that he is worth the money that he's trying to get. So I don't see him sitting out. I just don't. But we'll see. Greg here. Jesse's agent is one tough guy. Bates wants $50 million plus and guarantees. I don't know if that's what he wants or not. I mean, I have no idea. Paul Dehner doesn't know. The guys who cover the team don't know the money. They don't know if it's money, how much money they've been offered. They don't know how much money the agent's trying to get. We don't know about the guarantee. So you're saying that, and I believe you believe that, but nobody actually knows of where they're at, how far apart they are, how close they are, or anything, because the Bengals don't release that. So we'll see. Hold on, let me get there. Wait, get over here. And playing under the tag is too risky. I'd hold out too. No, again, I don't agree with you, Greg. You're guaranteed $13 million. You hold out, you don't get that money. You miss a whole year of football. And nobody's seen you in a year. And nobody knows what you could do or what kind of shape you're in or anything like that. So there's no guarantee you get the money that you're guaranteed. He's guaranteed already to get that much money this year. All he's got to do is sign his name. That's it. So I understand what you're saying, but I personally don't agree with you. I mean, if it's $13 million, I think that's why I think Jessie Bates is going to play for the Bengals. I just don't think he's going to be here for training camp, OTAs, and all that stuff. Preston, what's up? Shout out Iceman and the show and Houday to all the fans here. Thanks, Preston. Appreciate the love, man. Crip, what's up, buddy? Why can't we sign Jessie Bates at 10 or 14 million and give him all the money he wants at sign bonus? I don't get it. Like I said, Crip, I don't know what money he wants. I don't know what money has been offered. I mean, yeah, that sounds great. And to be honest, if it's $14 million and the Bengals are already willing to sign him that, to pay him that this year, I don't think the Bengals have a problem with that. I think they'll pay him that. Personally, that's just what I think. But I don't know if that's what his agent wants. I don't know if that's what he wants, But again, like I said, Jessie Bates has said it multiple times that he does not have to be the highest paid safety in the league. That's why I personally think for Jessie, it's more the guaranteed money. That's what I think. But like I said, I'm just a guy with the YouTube show. I have no idea. Richard, what's up? Hey, Jeff, I like Jessie Bates, but but it is what it is. I think we'll still be all right without him. Well, that's the reason they drafted two safeties. One of the reasons they drafted him, I think, because the Bengals were preparing for life without Jessie Bates. And I don't necessarily think they thought it was going to be this year, which I still don't think it's going to be this year. I think it's going to be moving forward. So I think we'll be all right. And like I said, I think Jessie's going to play. I really, really do. A couple more questions here, and we'll get to the interview here. Preston, Jessie's got to go at that point, in my opinion. See, the thing is, and that's one thing, again, me and Paul Dehner get into this interview. I don't think it's going to be a distraction because his teammates have his back. The coaches have his back. They understand. Hell, the Bengals, I think, even understand. They don't like it, but they understand what he's doing. So I don't think there's animosity. I mean, and the thing is, if you have a problem with the front office, but your coaching staff and your teammates got your back, I don't think there's going to be a problem when he shows up. They'll be like, all right, let's go win this thing, So, and the thing is, if you trade him, what are you going to get for him? Maybe a second rounder. I mean, you're not going to get a ton. I mean, you're not, because they're going to throw in your face Jessie Bates' career low in stats last year. So that's where I'm kind of like, Jessie has what leverage does Jessie actually have? I don't think people are going, oh my goodness, we have got to go get Jessie Bates. I just don't see that. This is not a slight to Jessie Bates. I'm just speaking the reality here. That I don't think they're like, dude, we have to go get that guy. Go give him a first round pick for him. I mean, if somebody's doing that, I'm sure the Bengals will be like, okay, we'll make the trade. But that's where I'm like, this is all Jessie has is to sit out. But I don't think it's that big of leverage. Bengals will be like, okay, sit out. We'll see you when the season starts. And if you don't, we have your replacement already. So Jessie's kind of in a rock in a hard place, I think. Let's see here. Let's go. You got to blow it up. Love it here. Let's go, Tom. I haven't gotten yours, I don't think. Tom. Houday. Get the Bates deal done. Brown needs to get in his pocket. We will have an awesome secondary with him and Dax. We will need it with the wide receiver class in the AFC. I agree with it. And they've tried. I mean, I will tell you that they've made offers, but they're just not happy with them. So and this isn't the Bengals are cheap thing. And they don't pay safeties that much. They just don't. They haven't given guarantees to anybody. The first person I think they're willing to give a guaranteed contract to is this guy behind me, Jackpot Joey Burrow. And then maybe Chase and T. Higgins, those guys. Because that's the core of this team. And I'm sorry, but again, I love Jessie Bates. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins are more important to this team than Jessie Bates is. And Jessie Bates is a huge leader in this locker room. It would be a huge loss to lose him. It would be. And again, I'm not trying to downgrade Jessie Bates at all. I'm just trying to speak facts here and how reality of what the situation is. Because I know Bengals fans, screw it. You don't want to be on our team? Go on. We're done with you. Well, that's not exactly what the Bengals are going to do. They're businessmen. They got to be kind of smart about it. And they want to keep Jessie Bates. And this is where I have This is what drives me nuts. This is where I think the agent is being the biggest problem. I think we know the Bengals want him. Hell, Duke Tobin drafted him. You know he wants to keep him. Jessie Bates, I think, wants to stay here in Cincinnati. I don't really think he wants to go anywhere else, to be honest. I think he likes it here. I think he has great chemistry with his teammates. He knows he's on a Super Bowl caliber team. Those things aren't things that you just go, it's fine. He likes that stuff. That's what drives me nuts with this whole thing is he likes them. He likes them. The Bengals like him. It's the agent. But the agent is doing what he's paid to do. The agent doesn't care if the Bengals like him. All the agent cares about is getting as much money as he can for his client, and that's what he's supposed to do. That's his job. Whether we like it or not, that's the agent's job. So we'll see what happens. I hope they sign him. Like I said, I think he's going to come back for the beginning of the season. And you know what? I'm sitting there talking, and I haven't even. I have not uploaded the file yet for my for the interview, which is silly. I'll put it over here real quick. Live TV, man. When you're not ready for something, you know.
Hey guys, what's going on? Got a very special guest.
Now I'm gonna hit pause
today.
And I'm gonna start this over again. Okay, see, this is what you do when you're trying to do too many things at once, and you get discombobulated. Anyway, let me get to Fry Baloney here. What's up? Why are we even pretending we're going to sign him? LOL. Obviously, based on the draft, that it's clear that we're moving on. That's where I take it at too. Yeah, I think they are moving on, and that's where I'm like, Jessie Bates doesn't have really any leverage here. I mean, he has none because they have his replacement. He wants to sit out. Like, they're like, okay, sit out. I don't think Jessie Bates is going to miss the entire season. I don't think he's going to miss any of the season because I don't think he's going to miss out on the money and the opportunity of having a good season to, you know, propelling him into a bigger contract next year with somebody else. So that's why I think Jessie Bates is kind of stuck. You know, he's going to be here this year and he's either going to play or he's not. He's either going to forfeit $13 million, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, or he's going to play. And that's what I think. I think he's going to play. Now, just my opinion. And like I said, it's just from different people I've talked to. So, thanks, Preston. Facts. Strawberry, they are more important than Jessie Bates is. Yeah, they are, which I'm talking about Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. Let's see here. Who else you got here? Fried says, I'm tripping. What am I tripping about? It says, you're tripping, Strawberry. If he liked it so much, he'd sign. There's a point where you like where you're at, but you also want to get paid what you think you deserve. So, all right, I'll put it this way. If you say you like your job, but you can go to this place and do the same thing, but they're going to pay you twice as much, but you really like everybody you work with and like everybody you're around, but that's a lot of money. You tell me, would you move, Baloney? Fry Baloney? That's what I'm saying. Money talks, baby. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, we'll get to this interview here with Paul Dehner Jr. He's from The Athletic. This is his second time being on the show. I appreciate him and Jay Morrison and Justin Williams. All three of these guys are writers for The Athletic, and they've done do a great job, and they've given me lots of time on my show. So check it out. Here's the interview. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll jump back on after the interview, and we can chat a little bit more.
Hey guys, what's going on? Got a very special guest today. He's a great follow on Twitter. He's a really good writer for The Athletic. He's been on here this is his second time, so now I can stop giving him crap saying Jay Morrison has been on here 3 times. Now Paul's going to be on here twice. So Paul, you got one more time to catch up to him. But anyway, let's get to him. Here's Paul. What's going on, Paul? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? Once again, I'm just riding Jay's coattails, man. That's all. I'm always trailing behind Jay. I know that's always the case.
No, I appreciate you guys giving me the time to come on here. I know I bugged the crap out of you to get you to do this, but like I told you the other day at the Sam Hubbard Fulling, I don't know how else to do it. So
that's it. Hey, it was good. It was good to see you out there. It was good to see you out there. It was good to see everybody. A lot of familiar faces out there to chat with the other day. I enjoyed that.
Exactly. Now, and then I saw you like the next day at the Bengals practice where it was kind of nice for once they had no barriers, when you guys were walking back. So I was like, hey, what's up, all? You're still talking to Zach Taylor, so he.
Yeah, no, he was just bragging about the fact that he had won the staff pickleball tournament earlier in the week. So he was just regaling with stories of his victories at that point.
Well, hey, that's what I would do too. If I had won that bowling tournament, I'd be talking all kinds of crap, but I didn't. So
no doubt.
All right, so let's get to this. Now the story everybody's talking about is Jessie Bates. He came out the other day and said that he's not showing up to OTAs, he's not showing up to training camp, and he doesn't want to play under the franchise tag. But he's also said in the past that he doesn't have to be the highest paid safety in the league. So where is this going? How long is this going to last, Paul? What do you think?
One more year in some capacity. I mean, I don't think it really changes. Him not being here is not surprise at all. I mean, this was how we expected it to go, that he would not be part of the offseason program. That's really standard operating procedure for almost anybody that's in some kind of contract dispute, that you're not going to take part in any of the voluntary stuff or mess around with that. The where it's kind of getting murkier and now is, okay, well, are you serious that you're not going to play on the franchise tag? Because the Bengals have kind of reacted to protect themselves. They drafted Dax Hill, they drafted Tyson Anderson. I mean, it took 2 safeties, and their first round pick can slot in and take that spot. And they've kind of said where they stand that twice now. They've put out there exactly where they stand, and they're not going to budge on that. They have a lot of big contracts coming up next year. Burrow, Higgins, Wilson, all names that they're going to want to get done. That's before we talk about Jonah Williams, Jermaine Pratt, who will also be free agents next year. And then the year after that, we're talking about Jamar Chase. I mean, these names and these big numbers that are all coming down the line will be affected by what Jessie Bates makes. And so they have that figure plotted that they're willing to do, whether it's the guarantees that are the problem or the total money that's the problem. Obviously, that gap is significant, and they're sitting here saying, well, the franchise tag is there. It's what they're allowed to do. And so he's either going to choose to play on the tag or he can choose not to. And honestly, the Bengals created plan B for themselves with Dax Hill. If he makes that choice, it is his choice to leave $13 million on the table. It's not something that anybody really ever does. So the threat, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's on deaf ears, but I don't know how much leverage he actually has with that threat. That's a hard decision to make, to say for a guy that's only made $5 million in his career to leave 13 out there. So, this year it will happen. Next year he'll hit free agency and get his money. I mean, that will happen next year in the March. It's just a matter of, the risk that he's willing to take this year to pocket the money on this 1-year deal. And I think both sides have kind of dug in their space. We'll find out on July 15th.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't think it's not like the Bengals haven't made a contract offer to him. I mean, they have. It's just either, like you said, it's either not enough money or it's the guarantee. Personally, I think it's the guaranteed money. I think that's what his agent's trying to get. And I have no sources. That's just me reading the tea leaves or whatever from what I've read and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you look at his agent, he's been in some very high-profile, combative moments where Deshaun Watson forcing his way out, Jalen Ramsey forced his way out in Jacksonville, two of his most high-profile contracts. He'll probably immediately point out to you, what did their contracts look like? Full of guaranteed coin. Deshaun Watson breaking the bank on guaranteed money. Jalen Ramsey, I think it was my story, 66, I think, whatever his guarantee was, a huge number that he got. And that is part of it. It's okay, well, if you're not getting the guarantees here, then maybe we should try to force the way out to go somewhere where you can get those guarantees, and because that's what these contracts are about. And I understand that. And I understand Jessie being frustrated by not having those. And the Bengals don't traditionally give those out. There is no way around that. So the idea that that's the sticking point makes all the sense in the world. Only they can really speak directly to what's happening between Katie and David. But I think that is, you can probably make some fair assumptions that's where the issue stands.
Yeah, and it's nothing against the agent. I mean, I can't stand the agent because he's helping Jessie Bates not sign here in a fan perspective. But the agent is doing his job, and he's really good at it. I mean, he's gotten his guys paid, and that's why Jessie Bates hired him.
Well, there's two sides to that. Yes, and he has gotten guys paid. He is paid to do this stuff. But there's also, the question that I ask, and I don't know. I'm not in the room with Jesse and his
Right.
agent talking about this. I don't know their relationship. But Jesse just went through a year that was very taxing mentally and emotionally for him, and he admitted that, and how tough it was during the season for him to focus and not have that in his head, and the distraction, and it is a distraction for these guys. Like anybody that's ever gone through anything in their job knows that it's always out there. You may not think of it on 3rd and 10, but it during the week it's there. It's always there. You're asked about it by us. It's just this thing, right? I mean, and so how much are you willing to put up for that? For what gain, right? Like what are you gaining? Is it worth the couple $1,000,000 difference or the guarantees that you really want to go through another year of distraction? Maybe it is. And maybe he's saying, yeah, well, the difference is so wide. If that's what it has to, if I have to do that again, then maybe that's what I have to do. But I think that's something that an agent has to weigh too. That's not always just about the money. There's a personal health and well-being in enjoying their life and their job. That's part of this too.
Right.
And, obviously it was something that weighed on Jesse last year, and I understand him not wanting to have to go through that again.
Yeah, and that kind of brings me back to a conversation I had a couple of days ago with former Bengals kicker Shane Graham. And he was kind of talking about the year that he was franchise tagged and how that kind of messed with him all year. And his regret where he wished he would have just taken the first offer and he would have got to stay with the Bengals, because he said, yeah, the money would have been nice, but I wanted to be a Bengal. I wanted to stay here. And he, after that playoff game with the Jets, where we all know what happened, he was going through his head going, this is the last time I might be in the stadium. And he's regretted it ever since. And he was talking about that on my show. So he's like, that's one thing. He goes, and I think Jesse wants to be here. And I think he wants to be a Bengal. He said, that's something that Jesse's got to consider as well, too.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to really last year. I mean, that goes back to last September, August, when they couldn't sign the deal. That was, to me, the risk. That was the one that was more, how worth it is it to have that in your – I mean, Sam Hubbard, Tyler Boyd are both good examples of guys that probably could have pushed and got a little bit more and probably settled for maybe even a little bit below their market value, or – didn't really haggle, just got them done, and they're here and they're collecting all of it and they're happy. They're making $10+ million a year and all is well, and never went through really any of that mental strain and anguish and the distraction of drawing it out. And so there's two different ways to approach it. And that's nothing wrong with Jesse. I mean, Jesse, I kind of write my story today about, he's always been a really business savvy guy. I mean, Robert Livingston told me the story for one I did on Jesse when he first broke out a couple of years ago, about how he went to Wake Forest to meet with him during his pro day, and they're sitting down, they're eating lunch, and he's talking about how, he wants to come out early. And he really liked the idea of being a second-round pick, because even then he was thinking, well, then I don't have to worry about a fifth-year option. I can get to my second contract and my extension talks earlier, and I can get that done earlier. Then I can maybe get a second bite at the apple when I'm still in my 20s. That's how his mind was working as a 20-year-old at Wake Forest.
Right.
So, and he's very into that world. He's been very involved. He's got businesses back in Fort Wayne that he dealt with, and he's an NFL PA rep. Like he's really into that stuff. And so he wants to feel like he's doing it right, and that he's making all the right moves to take advantage of a system that is set up to not let these guys do well. So that's part of this too. I think he feels like he's pushing all the right buttons to pay off his really one real shot at the biggest it can be. So I never blame these guys for trying to do what they can do. However, I just think there's the money side of things, and there's the mental well-being side of things of, look, a lot of money is a lot of money, and sometimes your own personal, enjoyment of life and comfort with your situation is important too.
Right, exactly. And like I said, I've said this on my show multiple times. I will never go against an NFL player trying to get as much money as they can, because their careers are so short. It could end in an instance with a knee injury or a torn Achilles or whatever. So you got to make your money when you can. But to that fact, also, just like you said and Shane Graham said, not how much is enough, but your mental happiness. If you're stressed out about, because that's got to be stressful to go play a season, and it's in the back of your head that you don't want to get hurt or you got to play good. And to be honest, Jessie Bates, his stats last year were the lowest of his career during the regular season, so he did not have a really good year. So that's not helping his case either. But flip side, he had a great postseason run, and I don't think the Bengals would have made it to the Super Bowl without him.
Yeah, I would argue that was the best stretch of his career. And I think you also, there's something to be said for a couple of aspects here. One, you learn how to play with that distraction. I mean, everybody is playing on a year-to-year contract in this league. Everybody is playing with money on the line every single year because your contracts disappear. Any team can get rid of you. They'll cut bait and leave you holding, 1/3 of what was supposed to be your money. That's part of where the guarantees argument comes from. But I mean, so that's not just for guys that are in negotiations, that are on franchise tags, that are in contract years. That's everybody. And there's something to be said for learning how to play with that. And I think he did last year. And maybe that will help him if he does end up playing on the tag this year. And the other side is the team has really always had his back. His teammates have obviously had his back. They've been very vocal, as vocal as any controversial topic that you'll see, and the coaches too. I mean, and there's a good locker room. He's part of the leadership group. No one's holding this against him. People understand it's business, and I don't think he would have any problem coming back in, sliding back in, and feeling comfortable in this locker room like nothing really happened, and being able to do the best he can. There's going to be distractions for almost anybody. It's just a matter of who has the ones that are the biggest that year or whatever.
Right, and that goes to. Like I personally, and I think you said it on this broadcast too. You have to correct me if I'm wrong. I personally don't think he's going to miss the whole season. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to miss training camp and all that stuff. I think he's willing to sit that. I don't know if he's actually willing to miss the whole season, but just say he comes back right at the beginning of the season. Like you said, the culture of the locker room and him being the leadership and his teammates having his back. I think not that it'd be a completely smooth transition because he hadn't played, but as smooth a transition as it can be for him to come in. But question though, if that does happen, and he does come back for the season, the beginning of the season, and Dax Hill has been your starter, does Jessie slide right back into starting over Dax, or he's got to work his way in? What do you think about that?
I mean, if Jessie shows up and once he's in shape, he's the guy.
Right.
I mean, he is a Pro Bowl level safety in this league. Dax Hill, for all the hype and that we have talked him up for the last few weeks as a rookie. We don't know if he's going to be good, especially at safety. So it's Jessie's job once he's fully healthy and up to speed, that where he wants to be. I don't think that will ever be an issue.
Now, do you think he'll sit out the whole season? I know I asked
Jessie. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, look. He's too smart for that, and this is all. I mean, this is all.
I mean, it's $13 million.
It's very easy. It's very easy to make threats and say things right now. You're trying to find whatever leverage you feel like you can get for this July 15th negotiation that you want to get a long-term deal done, and hope that this is what gets you the little bit extra to get the best deal possible on the table for you that you maybe can take.
Right.
And the idea that anybody thinks that Jessie is going to look at $13 million and say, nah, I'm good.
Right.
I just, there's just no way. There's no history of that. Like, I went back through all the franchise tags. I mean, you can go back the last 10 years. I only just put them all for the sake of not blowing people away on space. Every result of the last 4 years of franchise tags, only Le'Veon Bell on his second franchise tag, by the way, has ever not signed it and not played. It's just not something people do because it's dumb. And he's much smarter. He's a smart guy. Like, there's just no way you're going to just take $13 million and not take it. You know what I mean? No matter what you think is at the other end of the rainbow in March, it just doesn't make any sense to do that. And maybe he does. Maybe he's going to be bold and he's going to do something that nobody in the league does anymore. Maybe that's the case, but it's really, really, really hard to see that being something that happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would be shocked because, like I said, Le'Veon Bell, I couldn't. It's so bad. There's so many Bells. I can't forgetting his first name. But Le'Veon Bell was the first one or the only one to ever do it. And he actually he lost all the money for his free agent tag year. And then he even signed with the Jets for less money than the Squealers offered him, and then the Jets cut him. So, and I don't even know where he's at now. So that didn't go good for him at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was the end of his career in
Mhm.
general, and he wanted to get one last big guarantee because I think he probably knew he was slowing down and that he only had so many hits left in him, and that was the case. I mean,
Right.
he was right,
Mhm.
and so I think he was just trying to collect one last, guaranteed bag from whoever was willing to give him the most, knowing that he was probably going to end up ripping him off because he didn't have a whole lot left.
Right.
And that's who he, and that's fine if that's the case. That's not the case with Jessie Bates.
No.
Like, and anymore, I mean, what is the possible thing? I mean, I guess he could come out and play terrible, right?
Mhm.
He could come out and have a terrible season. He's not going to, how could you think that way? There's no way
Right.
a professional athlete thinks that way.
Mhm.
You're not going to come out and play terrible. You're going to come out and play good football, and you're going to have 13 million and then still make your next big money next year, no matter what that is. And if you do play bad, guess what you'd like to have? $13 million already in your bank account. I mean, it's a lot of haggling over how people want to handle their business. No, none of us are here to talk about how Jesse should handle his business. There's just a reason that people don't really take that route, and they're typically just threats and bluster as part of negotiations.
Yeah, I did a poll on my channel here when this all came out, and I was kind of surprised. I said to the Bengals, give in and give Jesse what he wants, or should they trade him? And 71% of the people last time I checked said trade him, and I was taken back by that. And I don't think it's that Bengals fans are mad at Jesse. I think Bengals fans, we don't want that distraction. We think we have a shot of winning the Super Bowl this year. We want everybody all pulling on the same rope, going toward the Super Bowl. That's where I think people are like, okay, if you just want, and I don't think Jesse Bates is in it just for the money. We've said this on here before. I think he wants to get as much as he can, but I don't think he's all about the money. If he gets something fair, I think he'll go. But the thing is, it surprised me with Bengal fans. They all jumped on and said, trade him. Well, if you trade him, what are you getting for him? A second round pick, maybe? I mean, that would, what else do you think they would get for him?
Yeah, I mean, when you look, in recent years, Jamal Adams had a couple of ones to Seattle. Minka Fitzpatrick had a one and some pick swaps to Pittsburgh. I don't know that he would be sought after to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Also the team knows that they would have to give him the extension that he wants. And now we've seen much more aggression with player trades and doing extensions this offseason, so you never really count that out in this league.
Right.
Yeah, I would think probably if you were trying to gauge it, probably a second round pick, maybe a player with that, is probably what the return ends up being. You're not thrilled with that. And the Bengals, look, we know how Duke Tobin operates. He wants to win now. He wants the players that he has in hand. He wants Jesse here, and he playing on the franchise tag or the deal that they have in place as their offer. And he wants to win the Super Bowl now. He's not thinking, what about the distraction and this in 3 years? He's like, I want Jesse Bates here.
Yeah.
I want Jesse Bates. He's my guy. We drafted him. We believe in him. He's a big part of this team. He's a captain. I want him here. I want him in the building. Currently, the method we have to use to keep him here is the franchise tag.
Yeah.
We're allowed to, and I'm doing it because I want Jesse Bates here.
Right.
And because he wants to win the Super Bowl. He knows how close they are. He knows the rookie window. He knows all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always been kind of about the immediacy of now. He's never really been one about, we'll just trade for future picks down the road. Teams that are rebuilding, like the Bengals were a couple years ago, should be more interested in that types of things. Teams that are in the Bengals situation now should want whatever they can do to keep Jesse Bates in the building for 2022 because they're set up to win the whole damn thing. So that's the whole point. I think that what his perspective would be and why he would be hesitant to even try to trade him, something they would probably have to do, by the way, before the July 15th deadline, or else you're trading him and now he's got to be on somebody else's franchise tag, and it's a little bit harder to do. So I just don't think that's a route that they would end up going. They've been very different and done surprising things in recent years. I just think that their eyes on the Super Bowl is going to be kind of the factor in them not pulling that off. But it could happen. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I think I think he's going to sit out everything, and he's going to come back at when the season starts, and he's going to play the season out, and we're going to move on. That's bottom line what I think. Because if they haven't signed anything by now, I'm not sure what's going to change because the Bengals just don't pay that much money for safeties, and like you said, they got so much stuff lined up with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and all these guys coming up. So I think we've talked enough about Jessie Bates. Let's move on to OTAs, which you were out there the other day and I was up on the bridge watching them. Which hashtag
hashtag fill the bridge. Love it.
Exactly.
You're living proof.
So from what you've seen, I know it's early, but of the offensive line, the new glass eaters we have, and Joe Burrow throwing behind them, what has excited you the most, and who do you think is going to be the left guard? Well, who's got the right not the right stuff, but the right stuff. That's a good way to put it. The way Frank Pollock talks about the stuff in their neck.
Yeah, right. Yeah, gotta have it. Well, what's impressed me is that they're here. Because there's not much to say about what they're doing right now. I mean, they're doing steps to the left. They're running underneath bars. Like this is not what their season begins when the first day the pads come on in camp is when you really judge. For now, It's drill and technique, having them here. It's the fact that they're all here. They're all doing the right things. They're all saying the right things. They have leaders in the room. They have proven dudes that can do it in the room. They have the added depth of the proven dudes pushing the other guys back. Isaiah Prince has game experience.
Mm-hmm.
Carmen and Volson are going to be one of those who's going to be a backup.
Mm-hmm.
You have guys that have played. I mean, Dehner Jr. and Deontay Smith, who they're still really high on, are guys that are not necessarily going to start.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all of that is what's exciting about them. They're about the right stuff. They're here. They're in the mold of what Frank Pollock wants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of his chance to get his type of guys, his type of personalities. I think they've been pretty clear. They felt like the room lacked leadership last year. And that was a part of why they didn't get the development that they wanted out of everybody and some of the struggles that they had, especially when Riley Reif went down. He was a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think that is where you'll see the difference right now. As far as left guard, I don't know. I think it's up to Jackson Carman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Jackson Carman comes in and he has figured out how to be a pro the way Frank Pollock and Zach Taylor and this team wants him to be a pro through mentality, through work, through conditioning, through having stuff taken care of on and off the field, and being mature about it. If he has that, he'll get the job. He'll earn the job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about physical traits. He's got size, speed, everything else. He's got to learn to be a mature pro.
Mm-hmm.
And he started to show that last year. I think they felt encouraged about that direction. That said, I don't think it's by coincidence that a person who has all the other stuff is the one pushing them. The person with all the personality, all the work ethic, all the try hard stuff, maybe not the same physical traits, is the one that's here pushing them because that's the type of stuff that he needs to be doing. And if he can't, Volson will be the guy that probably comes in there and takes that job from him.
Yeah, exactly. And the Bengals want Jackson Carman to take that spot because they drafted him. They drafted him to do it. So they're going to give him every opportunity to do it. I mean, me personally, I like Deontay Smith. I think he has, I won't say better, but his mental makeup, I think, is better. Yes, Jackson has more of the physical stuff that you want, but I really like Deontay Smith. But I think they really do want to have him more as a backup than as a guard. But I still think last year, if Deontay hadn't gotten hurt, he would have gotten a shot at the right guard spot, and he might not have given it back.
The week he did get hurt, he was slotted to take over and get his chance. And that happens sometimes. You have bad luck. Yeah. I think they see him as a tackle of the future, where this year he could beat out Isaiah Prince as their number one swing. And then maybe next year, maybe he's, maybe if Jonah Williams leaves, he takes over, or maybe if something happens with Collins, they move. You don't know, or he's just a swing. Either way, I mean, when they drafted him, he was viewed as a project anyway, as a project tackle that you probably would need a year of working with. And so I think that's kind of a nice chance to give him a spot, let him learn it, and see if he can project as a tackle of the future here. However that shakes out. Because if he plays really well and shows he could maybe be a left tackle starting for you.
Mhm.
Well, if Jonah leaves, it doesn't hurt you as much. You feel like you've got an answer there, and you can put that money towards T. Higgins or
Right.
Wilson or
Right.
into the Burrow contract or whatever it requires. So they're going to have to be savvy in those ways going forward once they're out of the rookie contract window.
Exactly. All right, Paul. I appreciate you, man. You give me 26 minutes. Give a plug to your podcast. I know you guys just released it yesterday.
Yeah, I hear that podcast Growling is out there. It's free to everybody, not just subscribers. And of course, you can subscribe. I think we still have our $1 a month deal going on for all the content behind the paywall, which isn't just Bengals. It's Premier League. It's all our NBA writers. We have like over 500 writers. We're owned by the New York Times now. It's all under one umbrella for $1 a month right now. So, I mean, it's a great deal. I highly recommend it. And if you're a subscriber and you can come into our live Q&As and ask questions and things like that. Anybody can listen, of course, but subscribers can ask questions when we do those. We try our best to make it worthwhile for all the content that we have inside there, because we know people don't take those subscriptions lightly. So we try to make sure it's worthwhile and have a lot of good stuff back there. So anybody that wants to subscribe, feel free to do so.
And you always end your Q&A with, I can't remember her name, but the lady.
Natasha B in Hawaii.
Yes.
This has just happened very organically and naturally because she just kept I think one time she came in and she had the ocean in the background. She was in Hawaii.
I remember hearing it.
Just makes you feel good.
Right.
Just makes you, it's a good way to go about your day. God bless her. She wakes up, because usually they're at noon. It's like 6 o'clock out there in Hawaii. She gets up early and walks out to the beach just so she can be the last one in, ask a question, hold the phone up to the waves. And God bless her. We need to get up. I think I need to go to Hawaii and do a story on Natasha. I'm going to pitch that to my bosses and see if I can get that.
I think that's a good idea. I think that would be a great story.
I don't think I think it's something that we need to do. Yes, it's going to be a good
hard hitting material right there.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
All right, Paul. I appreciate it, man. As always, thanks, brother.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I know some of you didn't realize that was a taped one, but yeah, I taped that earlier today. But I got some pretty cool news. Now, if you guys ever follow me on Twitter, you know I've been shooting my shots. I shoot them all the time. I'm going for big shots. I'm going for Joe Burrow. I'm going for Chase. I'm going for T. Higgins. I'm going for all these guys. I even shout out Jessie Bates. But if I got one, I had Deontay Smith on a couple weeks ago. Now, Saturday night, we're going to record it, and I'll probably release it later on Saturday night. Delonte Hood. He's a cornerback DB out of Peru State. I'm trying to say that right. He's trying to make the Bengals roster. He has graciously decided to come on my show and tell us his story and get to know him. I met him a little bit saw him playing yesterday when I was on the bridge, and he looked pretty good. He's fast as hell. So make sure you guys go follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow, and you can see his 40 time. He is flying. So I got him Saturday night. Now, tomorrow I'm going to record. I'm going to record an episode with Bengals Whitney from Tigers Talk, and that's going to be. I'm going to broadcast that. It's not going to be live, but I'll broadcast it at 5:30 on the show, because tomorrow night is my beautiful daughter's, Princess Ice, birthday party. She turns 18. Well, she turned 18 Tuesday. We went out to eat for that, so that's why I didn't do a live show then. But the party's Friday night. So I got to go be dad. I can't be Strawberry Ice, but I will have me and Bengals Whitney on the show Friday, so you guys can check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, we'll see what happens with Jessie Bates. I don't know. And Preston, dude, shout out. If you go start your own podcast, hit me up. Send me the links. I love to see it sometime. Like I said, anybody wants to start a podcast, go for it. It is fun to do, and we need more. Like I said, the greatest thing about podcasts is, I'm live now, but you guys can watch it tomorrow, next day, 20 minutes from now, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can watch anytime you want. So, Preston, good luck on your podcast, and I hope it works out for you. I am looking forward to it, and my dog is barking. Anyway, let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. I'll appreciate every single one of them there. Houday Nation, Houday Legion, Cincinnati Reds, running third, heading for home. Bearcat Ruckus, Bearcat Country, the Ohio State Nuts, the Ice Bar, and you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trunable. TikTok is at Iceman90. Again, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I've been trying to get Joe Burrow on. He was on the full pedal, full throttle, full whatever the hell it was called podcast. They were at Jeff Ruby's. Jeff Ruby, you follow me, man. Dude, hook me up. I would love to have Joe Burrow on my show. That would be awesome. I would freak the crap out, but that'd be really cool. I'd be like, but Joe cool. And the thing is, they called him Joey Ice. Who the hell calls him Joey Ice? He's Jackpot. Or he's Joe Brr, or he's Joey Franchise. Not Joey Ice. Like, if you guys watched that pocket, and I'm not trying to be, they got him. I mean, they did. But it was like they knew absolutely nothing about him. They didn't even know that when he got drafted, he was at home because it was COVID. I'm like, you guys had him on this podcast, and you didn't really know who he was or anything about him. So, I don't know. Joe, hook me up. I know a lot about you. We have a great time. And any Bengals who want to come on my show, I'd appreciate it. So, follow me on Twitter. Help me out. Let's try to get Joe on my show. That would be awesome. Let's see. TikTok is at Iceman90. Hopefully pulling the sound off later on. Check it out. It's on BPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. And YouTubers, like I said, we're at 1,685. You guys are killing it. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers as fast as I can. Hopefully, by the time the football season rolls around. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors about Sports with Strawberries. I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see. I got a couple more comments here. Let me check this stuff out here. Thanks, One Nation. Strawberry Bridge forever. Let's see here. Yep. Thanks, Crown Family. First year. You are correct. Rabbit, you'd love to come on and show something. Yeah. Hey, one of these days I'm going to do a listener show again, and I'll put the link out and you guys can jump on. I'll try to promote it so you guys know when I'm doing it, because I've had a couple of you guys who watch my show regularly and would like to jump on. So I will definitely be doing that again sometime soon. Jeff, man, Ice, you really like a scout. How much the Bengals paying you? LOL, they're not paying me at all. Really, though, you could work your way into the organization somehow. I don't know about that. We'll see. I've blown Emily Parker up about different things, and God love Emily Parker. She's awesome. She is the Bengals director of communications, and she is awesome. She's putting up with my emails constantly, so I appreciate her. But no, I don't think the Bengals are going to hire me. But anyway, yeah, same what you said. It was like a UFC podcast. Yeah, they're talking UFC, which is cool. Joe likes UFC. I got no problem with that part. It's just the stuff they just didn't know about him. That's just, I'm like, I don't know. Like, if you're going to have somebody on your show, you should know something about him. And it's just, I don't know. Maybe because those guys couldn't smoke weed on it, because apparently they do. Like I said, I've never seen it. I watched it. That's the first time I ever watched them. So let's see. Crip, what's up? No, you can't go. It's Bike Week, Iceman. I can't go anywhere in Myrtle Beach. Well, sure you can, Crip. Just go outside and look at all of the cool motorcycles out there. And so you can get some other interesting views as well. And, I don't know. Haas, just seen that clip of him today. Yeah, they went for like an hour. I mean, I'd say go watch it. I mean, it was interesting. I was just kind of, it was funny because I don't remember the guy's name. The one who I guess finally got Joe to come on the show is, I guess he just bugged crap at him on Twitter or Instagram or something, kind of like what I do. And Joe said he was bored, so he decided to jump on. So I've tweeted out, Joe, you guys go find it on my timeline. If all of you guys can retweet it or at Joe Burrow, that would be awesome. Like, hey, if you're ever bored, you want to come on, a Cincinnati podcast, because, Joe's all about the local guys and helping out the Ohio guys. Plus, Jackpot Joey, we help out the Joe Burrow Hunger Relief Foundation. So if you guys could retweet that, if we do it enough times, maybe I'll blow him up. Maybe I'll get him on. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But I got to shoot my shot, and you never know. Is Cam Britt Taylor practicing? I did not see him. I know he showed up, and I think he was sick. So I did not see him yesterday, and they weren't out today. And I don't think they're going to be out tomorrow. I think they're just doing inside work tomorrow. So Kane, yeah, I wasn't impressed with those dudes that interviewed Joe. They were a couple of clowns. Oh, now look, hey, they got him, and they have way more followers, subscribers than I do. So, I mean, they're doing something right that I'm not. I don't know. Not that I'm doing stuff wrong, but they're doing something right because they got a pretty big podcast. So we'll see. Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe someday I'll get up there. Nation. Let's see here. What do you got? Just challenge Joe to a chess match. Maybe that'll get you in. Hey, I could do that, but and he would destroy me because I don't even understand how to play chess. But I would do that in a heartbeat. Maybe I'll tweet him out and say, hey, let's go one-on-one with chess. Actually, I would take him one-on-one in cornhole and see if he's any good at that. You know, because I'm actually pretty good at that. We'll see what happens. Anyway, like I said, if you guys can do me a favor, go find that tweet. Tweet him out. Try to get him on my show. That would be awesome. But like I said, I do have a Bengal coming on Saturday night. It is I always got to look at it because I want to make sure I say his name right. Delonte Hood. Like I said, I think he's got a really cool story. So we're going to record that Saturday night. I will release it later on Saturday night. It won't be live. So it's not going to be a Bengals and Brews late night. You never know. We might show up and do something there later. I have no idea. And it might be a late night strawberry ice. I don't know. But I am doing that one. And it will be on the channel later on. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I think I'm done rambling on. I appreciate all the support. And as always, I will see you guys tomorrow. Other than that, say it with me, people. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Let's go. In the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. Day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle, dripping heat. Tigers strike the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin', who that? Time to put your hands up. Bingo stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we lit it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the bounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Stripes, Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move like it on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange upon 'em, bingo ball 'em, never stop it till the beast and know who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black